5 seconds remaining.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully that break
Reserve
wasn't
time.
a little bit too long for you, as it was on the schedule that I was 7:30. Apparently that time had been changed to 7 o'clock, but the schedule didn't change, and one of the teams wasn't notified or whatever, so there was a chance that the game was supposed to start at 7, but we're starting at 7:30 just as
Radiant
the original
team
schedule said, so I guess that's all right. But we've got a best of 3 now. We, of course, just had a best of 1, and I want to clarify one thing. That was we saw Not Today go
10
on to beat
seconds
Archon
remaining.
in a best of 1, and I said that they were going to keep playing best of 1s, and that's actually
5
incorrect. The next
seconds
round,
remaining.
it's just the first round of the losers bracket that's best of 1. The next round and subsequent
Reserve
rounds
time.
are best of 3s. So I was wrong when I said that they were going to be best of 1s. It will be a best of 3 from the
Complexity's
second round
turn
of the
to
losers
ban.
bracket and on. So well, let's talk about this one. We're at semifinals for the winners bracket. We got compLexity, which we saw play last night, and they had a great series up against Digital Chaos.
10 seconds remaining.
And they knocked down Digital Chaos into the losers bracket, which we now
5
know will play up
seconds
against
remaining.
Leviathan. But that allowed compLexity to advance to
Reserve
the
time.
semifinals in round 2 of the winners bracket, where they're going up against Shazam. Now, the winner of this will go on to play Elite Wolves. The loser, we're not exactly sure who they're going to play yet. But that's kind of the stage that's set. I also want to point out one thing. We saw
Radiant team
Ritsu
back.
and Mason playing a lot for Shazam, but it looks like they're kind of on the sideline now, as it looks like maybe Ritsu's going to take a break from the game. We saw Mason
Complexity's
standing in
turn to ban.
for Digital Chaos as TC. Maybe he's been getting kicked. We don't know. That isn't official yet, or at least not that I've heard of. But so yeah, Mason's been standing in for Digital Chaos. It looks like
10
Ritsu's taking a break
seconds
from the game or
remaining.
whatever. So Shazam's left without 2 players. And they've got 2 stand-ins
5
tonight, so they got
seconds
Lumden
remaining.
standing in, but they've also got Black, who's standing in, but he's also trying out as the carry player for
compLexity's
Shazam.
turn to pick.
It'll be interesting to see how those players are able to adapt, and how Shazam is able to adapt and work with 2 new players. As for compLexity, they're their same old roster that we've seen play a lot recently. They've played 36 games in the last month. 36 games. You compare that to Shazam, they've only played 24.
10
Now,
seconds
I
remaining.
mentioned it in the Digital Chaos series. compLexity, they love playing on the
5
dire side.
seconds remaining.
30 of those 36 games were on the dire side. But what's interesting enough is that they're playing against Shazam, which
Reserve time.
actually has 16 of their 24 games on the Radiant side. So both teams are used to playing on different sides. compLexity used to playing on the dire. Shazam used to playing on the
Radiant
Radiant
team
side. So it'll be
pick.
interesting to see how these 2 teams clash. Let's get into the draft and talk about it, as we've got Oracle and Batrider banned out by compLexity, Wisp and Invoker banned out by Shazam. So once again, we saw so much emphasis on banning the Wisp against compLexity. You cannot let them get their Wisp. They are way too good with Wisp. So that gets banned out, but we were toying around with the idea of maybe switching
10
up that
seconds
second ban.
remaining.
You know, it's, do you ban the Bane? Do you ban the Gyro?
5
Who do you ban
seconds
up against
remaining.
compLexity? Apparently Shazam says we're going to ban neither of them. We're going to ban out the Invoker instead,
compLexity's
which
turn
might be a
to
wise
pick.
choice, because compLexity actually haven't lost in the last month on Invoker. 100% win rate over 7 games. So maybe that's a wise ban. But then we got into the picks. We had the Lone Druid first pick by Shazam. Then they added on a Witch Doctor after that. compLexity picked up the Brewmaster and the Enchantress. Then we went into our second round of bans, as we had Broodmother and Death Prophet, 2 strong pushing
10
heroes
seconds
banned out by
remaining.
compLexity. And Shazam, they banned out the Bane and the Tusk. So
5
2
seconds
very
remaining.
strong heroes for compLexity. We see Hanskin play the Bane a lot and do a lot of really good things with it.
Reserve
Z-Freak,
time.
he's primarily the one who plays the Tusk, although we have seen Hanskin play it a few times. And the one most recent time that we've seen Hanskin play the Tusk, he did an incredible job. Maybe even better than we've seen Z-Freak play. It was unreal. But that's going to get removed. So now we've got our next 2 picks are in as well. Skywrath Mage going to be the pick for Shazam, and Leshrac was the pick for compLexity. And that catches us up in the draft right now as we're waiting on the 4th pick from compLexity. It's going to be a Night Stalker. Okay. So this is already telling us that maybe that Leshrac is going to be a core Leshrac, which we've seen compLexity run a few times already. Now, that changes things up. We've seen, when we saw Leshrac get run by compLexity the other day, we saw Swindlemelons playing it. Now, he also primarily plays their Brewmaster. However, we have seen Limp play the Brewmaster once before. And I guess that makes the Enchantress then support, and the Night Stalker is going to be like the position 5. This kind of creates a weird setup here, because then what do? Do you go aggro? Because that's how we've primarily seen them run it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm trying to think this out. It's just not coming to me. But Vengeful Spirit's going to be the 4th pick for Shazam. So, core Vengeful Spirit, Lone Druid in the offlane. We've seen Brax do some incredible things with that hero. As last series we casted Shazam, it was all of a sudden, you know, Brax had a little bit of space, and then all of a sudden he just came out and just triple kill, easy game, easy life, as he just killed everyone. The game was pretty much over. So we're going to see that again from Shazam. So Lone Druid offlane, then Vengeful Spirit, Skywrath Mage, Witch Doctor. That is a very, very strong lane. And you know what? They could, maybe Shazam's going to go aggro with it, leave their Lone Druid safe lane, punish the fact that compLexity have an Enchantress, and that she's going to want to be in the jungle. The issue with that, though, is, are you really going to be able to punish the Leshrac? What if compLexity, like, compLexity is just in a great opportunity to just dodge the lane.
Radiant team ban.
So they leave their Brewmaster in the safe lane. In the safe lane, they go aggro with the Leshrac, Enchantress, and Night Stalker. So they got a duo lane in the bottom. So they're basically going to end up against Lone Druid. And then they pick up their mid hero, which, I don't know, Gyro's still in the pool. That could be their choice. But Queen of Pain's going to be the final ban from compLexity. Shazam's going to ban out the Lich. Oh, maybe this is what you do. You put your Brewmaster mid, you put your Enchantress as your offlaner in the safe lane.
10 seconds.
And then you go aggro with the Leshrac, Night Stalker, and another hero. Maybe that's why they banned out the Lich.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe they were afraid of...
Reserve time.
I don't know, guys. This is the strength of this draft right now. I have no idea. And you want to hope that Shazam's got a better idea than I do, and they certainly do. But this one is throwing me for a loop. As Luna's going to be the pickup for compLexity.
Radiant team pick.
So they're rotating that Lesh. I still think it's core Leshrac. So what do? Brewmaster mid. I don't like that. Who do you put mid? I guess it's got to be the Brewmaster that goes mid. It could be the Lesh. It could be.
5 seconds remaining.
But you've got this really, really strong aggro lane, or potentially aggro lane, this really strong tri-lane from Shazam.
Reserve time.
And you don't really have a hero that you can leave against it. That's going to be okay if you put your Brewmaster mid. You'd like your Brewmaster to be up against that lane, I think. Zeus. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so now compLexity starts selecting their heroes, and it looks like it is going to be a support Lash and a core and Enchantress, and I think that's better. Because maybe you just lane your Enchantress. I'm not sure if complexity's tri-lane strong enough though. If they have to run a tri-lane and they're trying to defend against the tri-lane, I think they just avoid. They definitely can't fight tri-lane versus tri-lane. But I guess we'll find out soon as we're going to hop into the game here. As we got Shazam on our Radiant side. Our Dire side is going to be compLexity. But for Shazam, we've got X, that's SVG. He's going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. We got MSS playing the Skywrath Mage. We got Lumden standing in. He's playing the Witch Doctor. Black, the other stand-in, is playing the Zeus. And Brax is going to be playing the Lone Druid. For our Dire side, we've got Swindlemelons playing the Enchantress. Handskin's going to be playing the Leshrac. Limp on the Brewmaster. Z-Freak on the Night Stalker. And Chessie on the Luna. Salamanders. Nova. Alright, I'm done with my voice acting. This is interesting. We've got 4 heroes, excuse me, from Shazam in the bottom lane. But compLexity, they've got 5.
To battle.
As it's just Brax up around the top. He's scouting with the bear, but he's not going to find anything. As here comes compLexity, maybe.
How fair the Skywrath drug on us.
Well, each team has seen each other. And compLexity, they're not going to threaten for the rune. They're going to try to run up to top and force Brax back. Brax going to try to stand on the rune. Will he be able to do so? No. He's going to play it safe. So Chessie's going to get the bounty rune and Black's going to get the other one. So Limp falling behind already in the mid lane by not getting that bounty rune. He's already half a level behind as a result. But it's not the biggest thing. Top lane. It's going to be the Luna and the Leshrac going up against the Lone Druid. Mid, that's Zeus against Brewmaster, so we predicted that lane. Bottom lane is going to be a Night Stalker who's in trouble here, as he's going to get stunned up. As Z-Freak going to try to run back, but he's not going to be able to do so, as MSS is going to get the first blood on the Skywrath Mage. But Z-Freak on the Night Stalker in the bottom lane with the Enchantress nearby. They're going to be going up against this tri-lane of a core Vengeful Spirit with support Witch Doctor and Skywrath Mage. Come to think about it, I think we actually have seen compLexity do this with the Enchantress duo lane with, I think the other times they did it with the Tusk. I remember back to those games I was referring to where maybe we saw Handskin play the Tusk, but I believe one of those games was Z-Freak duo off lane with his brother, and I think it was Tusk Enchantress.
Denied.
Try to keep our eyes on the mid lane or Black, see how well he's doing. He's already off to a good start, 8-0, and the Brewmaster at 7-1. We expect the CS to be traded between these two heroes. That's kind of what happens when a Zeus is in the lane. This Brax going to lose his bear up in the top lane. Brax managing to get 3 CS so far. It's only 6 CS, 6 and 2 for the Luna right now. Chessie not really keeping pace with the mid heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But he's pretty much even at 6-0 with SVG. So both safe lane farmers are even. Of course, then the advantage is going to come in the fact that compLexity having a jungler. So the Enchantress is going to get a little bit more gold out of it. But when you actually look at it, he's just kind of matching Brax right now. And Z-Freak hasn't really gotten anything in the bottom lane. But what they have gotten is some more XP. So they're going to look to use that to their advantage as they get a little bit later into the game. That will definitely help the Night Stalker when first night hits. He'll be level 2. I don't think he'll hit level 3. But he actually elected to go with Crippling Fear at level 2. Most of the time we see Crippling Fear either getting picked up. There's 3 different times you can pick up Crippling Fear. At 2, which we see you can pick up here. 4, which is probably the most common one. Or 8. And I really choose between 4 and 8. I don't really like picking up at 2. I feel like you need the move speed and Hunter in the night for the first night time. But they're not going to need here is they're going to open up onto Lumden. But now Z-Freak's in trouble. He's going to try to back away. His brother's just sitting there right-clicking away. But first blood, well, actually not first blood, but the first kill down here in this tri-lane, when we actually see a fight with all the heroes down here, is going to be on Z-Freak, as he dies the second time in this game. You know, on the top lane, Hanskin just barely missing a stun up on Brax's bear, as the Lone Druid bear is in trouble. Well, this looks like he'll actually be able to get that back and not lose it. Never mind. Beam comes out. That's 300 gold going the way of Chessie. As this Luna finding some good CS and good gold in the top lane. As for Black, he's a little bit behind the Brewmaster now. He's sitting at 18-0, whereas Limp is sitting at 22-2. A slight advantage for the Brewmaster. Talked about those safe lane farmers. We got 15 and 9 CS on the Vengeful Spirit. Chessie on the Luna is up at 20 and 8, but we also saw him get that kill on the bear, so that's going to be worth a bunch of CS there as well. So we have to keep that in mind. As for our offlaners, 6 and 1 for Brax, 10 and 1 for Swindlemelons. We've seen a lot of really, I don't want to say passive games, because they are, it's tough because they are kind of passive games from compLexity, but they're controlled games at the same time. The aggression comes out when it's necessary and when they need to do something on the map. And when they don't, then they play it smart and they just secure the game. As we're going to see a stun come out from Hanskin here as Brax going to die. As compLexity get their first kill of the game. Now, Swindles has actually made his way up to his own jungle now. So maybe preparing for a gank on the top lane. Notice he doesn't have a smoke right now, though. His courier's going to fly in, and it's not going to be carrying one for him. He is gonna go for a gank here with Hanskin, and this is something that you can do with an Enchantress. You sometimes see supports do this, smoke up and wrap around in the top tier 1, but we're actually not going to see that, as they're going to end up running right into the Lone Druid. As Hanskin goes for a different way of wrapping around, but still won't find that Lone Druid. But yeah, this is something we used to see a long time ago. Is both supports would smoke up when we saw a lot of defensive tri-lanes. They'd smoke up, they come in behind and wrap around the offlaner as the safe laner would push the creep wave with the catapult, and you'd wrap around on the offlaner and be able to effectively dive the tower because your creep wave's pushing. So they went for somewhat of a similar play there with the Enchantress, and you can do it without the catapult wave because you've got these the Enchantress creeps to tank some of the tower damage. They don't get the kill, but they get the tier 1 tower, which is the second half, or the second part of that goal of doing that wraparound play to get the kill, but also you're then pushing with your catapult on the tower, and the offlaner is now dead, and you wouldn't be able to pull the creep wave back off of his tower and back towards the tier 2. As Limp pops his haze, starts running at Black. Z-Freak TP'd on in for this, but they immediately see the fact that there's a Witch Doctor there and think better of it and back away. The Swindlemelon starting to make the rotation down in, but it's already been drawn out on the map by Shazam, so they know what's up. Swindlemelon's just going to make his way between the two towers. It's nighttime right now, so there is a path that he can take there where neither tower will see him. Now he's going to wrap in behind here as Lumden's going to get blocked off by the Dark Troll Summoner, but they're going for Black. They don't care about the Witch Doctor. As Black is in trouble, he's going to get stunned up by Hanskin. And are they going to finish him off? There we go. The right clicks finally come in from Swindlemelon to finish him off, but now they're going to go for Lumden, and they're going to find the kill on that Witch Doctor. There's 2 kills that are going the way of compLexity, and now they'll start doing some damage to this mid-tier 1. But with Diabolic Edict on cooldown, because it was used for those kills, and no mana left on Hanskin, it's going to be difficult for them to push this tower down too quickly. They will get some good damage in, but it's not the fastest.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
One of the things that we didn't see there is the Swindles just destroyed the catapult, but This is also one of the benefits of Enchantress, and one of the changes to catapults so that they're no longer magic immune, is once the catapults spawn, the Enchantress can go and enchant the opposing team's catapult, and then you've got 2 catapults on your side to push the lane and also deal good damage to the tower. We're going to have the Eclipse getting popped by Chessie as SVG swaps the Luna back towards the tier 2 tower, but Chessie will find the kill, almost finds a second, in fact he will, as Brax goes down to, I believe it was the range creep with the last auto attack there. But Chessie trades himself for 2 kills, 1 on Brax, 1 on the support there, and he got a little bit of damage in on the tier 2, but he was able to farm aggressively now, there, and now maybe Shazam next time they're going to think a little harder before they go for a gank on Chessie. Swindlemounds, good micro from him, controlling the Radiant jungle right now while he's doing some jungling. So he's going to go down there. He's even going to stack this up. Or not stack it. He's going to start clearing it because they've noticed it's a stack. As Handskin and Swindler are going to come in and take the stack from Shazam. This isn't really a stack that Shazam would even have been able to take soon. Because they don't really have heroes that are good at clearing it. The Witch Doctor's actually not bad with Cask, but not for a big stack. But he's able to do small neutral camps. But besides that, they don't really have anything that's able to really burst down large camps like that until the Radiance comes online. Is Chessie in trouble here? He will get swapped back again. As now he's stunned up and he is going to go down. Meanwhile, his teammates, where are they on the map? We had Handskin starting to make his way up there, but Limp and Z-Freak and Swindlemelons are still in the bottom lane. They're going to push this tier 1 tower. So once again, complexity's got the leg up on the competition, and they are going to be able to get some good damage in on this tier 1 before Shazam is anywhere near threatening one of the towers on the map. It looks like this tier 1 tower is probably going to be for free here, as the glyph was already used.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That tier 1 tower goes down, and now Shazam has gotten to the tower. Brax doing some good damage to the mid tier 1. He's got MSS and Lumden behind him, but here come the TPs. Swindlemelons comes in as there was a kill in the top lane, as Limp and Handskin combined for a kill as they drop the Vengeful Spirit. Tier 1 tower, not going to get denied. Brax with the better last hit on from the Lone Druid Bear. We'll get the last hit on the tower. Complexity, we're kind of a little cautious about really taking a better positioning there and trying to force back the heroes from Shazam. They just wanted to go for the deny there. Switch on over to net worth and see Chessie number 1 right now at 5,300. Cask's not going to bounce between him and Z-Freak. But number 2 is going to be Limp on the Brewmasters. He's already got his Blink Dagger, and he's going to have his treads completed soon as well. So look for him to make some plays. We got SVG with his Drums of Endurance Charge recipe in the stash, so he'll be close to completing that. Just needs his Robe of the Magi. Then it's Black. He's got his Arcanes and his Soul Ring. He's up to 900 gold. $1,700 gold for Brax. He looks like he's going for the Midas. He's got his Gloves of Haste up on his bear. He actually doesn't have brown boots on his bear. He's going to go for the Midas first, but he might get set back here. He does have the gold for it. He's just going to TP out here. They're not going to be able to find him or the bear. Maybe he's not going to buy the Midas recipe because he hasn't bought it yet. Yeah, so he's just going to keep saving for the relic. And I guess part of why he picked up the Gloves of Haste instead of the boots is that he's able to jungle faster. Doesn't really have to worry about the move speed because he's not using the bear against the enemy heroes so much right now. He's more concerned about farming. I guess that's the reason behind going for the Gloves of Haste. There's that drum just getting picked up by SVG. compLexity, they've grouped up as 4 in the mid lane. They're going to go to finish off this mid tier 1. Maybe black is nearby. But it looks like Shazam may just go for the trade here. compLexity once again in the better position to push. Lift getting used. Limp's going to TP up to the tier 2, so they're looking to engage on this. The heroes here from Shazam, but it looks like they're going to back away. So it is going to be a free tower for compLexity. As Shazam once again not able to get in position to push a tower. And at least get a trade out of it. Now Shazam will smoke up, they'll look for a gank. Will compLexity be able to read this? Swindles needs to be careful.
Double damage.
Oh, they're going to get the perfect wraparound here on the Enchantress. Oh, they've got complete vision of Swindles. Swindles does not have a TP. So will he be able to get out of this? Handskin's here as well. They're going to miss the stun onto the Witch Doctors. Oh no, that was a disaster. Handskin's going to be the target that they're going to focus down, and he's going to die. Next target's going to be Swindlemelons. They're going to try to catch up to him, but not going to be able to do so. Enchantress is prancing along. As Black is going to go down in the mid lane. As now Zefreak going to get swapped back to the tier 2. Nice play there by SVG. His core Vengeful Spirit will find a kill.
Tower is under attack.
While this is going on, we've got Chessie in the top lane. Split pushing. As for the most part, he's kind of been left alone. They came up and they tried to gank him that one time. He ended up with a double kill. Since then, he's just been kind of yo-yoing back and forth between the lane and the jungle. And just getting some good farm there, and he's still #1 in terms of our net worth, and the gap seems to be increasing. Swindlemelons has picked up his Dragon Lance. MSS has Arcanes in the headdress. Rack's now up to 3,000 gold. 1,300 gold for Black. Interesting to see what he's going to go for. Lumden's got just his Arcanes, 800 gold for him. Another 1,200 gold up for SVG. As for compLexity, we got 900 up on the Luna. The Helmet of Dominators has just been completed. Zefreak, he's got his Urn. Limp, Blink Dagger, and what's on the Courier? Something's got to be on the Courier. It's the Ogre Club for him. Now Chessie and Handskin are going to smoke up. They're not going to bring Limp with them. It's just going to be the two of them making their way down towards the bottom lane. Well, maybe not. They're just going to go right into Roche Pit. We've got the little Ogre Bruiser to tank for them. We're just going to rely on the two heroes here, and they're going to be able to do this, and they're going to be able to do it pretty quickly. Right. This is a really hard read from Shazam. They should know by now. The creep wave getting pushed up this far that all of a sudden, wait a second, Chessie's not here. Why is he not farming here? What is he doing? Is he just staying in the jungle? That's a place where he should have come back to farm. And yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to come and contest this. It's just going to be a free Roshan for compLexity. And this just goes back to them always loving to play the Dire side. They love being able to get this Aegis and having that early game advantage. Limp going to blink forward onto Brax. The split's going to get used. He's going to use the stun to cancel the TP from Brax as the lone druid goes down, and that sets him back a little bit as he drops now down to 3,200 gold. Shazam, we've seen them try to go for this top tier 1 tower several times. They may actually get it this time. Because compLexity says, you know what, we'll trade, we'll go for your tier 2 in the mid lane. And look at how fast they push.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Glyph's going to get used to kind of delay them, but this tier 2 is down and out.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Black in a TP back, he's at 2,000 gold right now. It's compLexity, they're just going to keep charging, going up onto the high ground. They forced out those TPs. Now they try to back away, but Limp's going to get swapped. As he goes down, Mystic Flare getting used by MSS there. Cass going to fly in. It's going to bounce between Zefreak and Chessie with the final 2 bounces.
Top tower is under attack.
As they'll meet up with their bottom creep wave and Swindlemelons.
Nature attend us.
MSS continues to throw out some harassment. Most of complexity just backing away there. They need to be careful with the Vengeful Spirit. We saw that swap and how effective it is at limiting complexity from retreating and stopping them from being able to retreat like that. But it was on cooldown there, so they were able to play and have Swindlemelons kind of frontlining there for a bit. But it swaps up now, so he'll have to be careful. And now we'll get swapped. As will they have any follow-up? There comes the Arcane Missile, or Magic Missile. So that's going to stun up Swindlemelons. Thunder God's Wrath going to come in, as there was a Magic Wand used there, which allowed him to survive, but just not entirely, as they were able to get the kill on the end of it. Chessie now starts charging forward. He does have Eclipse used, available, and he's going to use it, as that's going to get him a kill onto Lumden. They're going to find another kill into SVG. As Shazam gets a kill, but then they lose two. But Brax, he's ratting it up as he's pushing in the mid lane. We've got the relic picked up by him. As Handskin TP's back, and Brax just TP's up to the top lane, where he'll go and continue farming and try to complete that Radiance. Complexity, they're going to get another tower as the bottom tier 2 goes down. There's just one outer tower left, and that's the top tier 2. As for complexity, they've got all 3 of their tier 2 standing. Some with a little bit less HP than others, but they also still have this Aegis on Chessie, who's now just picked up a Yasha, and he's going to get a little bit more gold here by stacking and killing this Ancient Camp. Thing actually going to come out there by Lumdens, indicating that we probably got to do something about this Ancient stack, and the fact that he's probably doing that right now. Limp up to 1,600 gold, and he'll buy his Mithril Hammer with that, so he just needs the recipe to complete his BKB. Stack is down, and Chessie's pretty close to completing his Manta, just over 1,000 gold or so away from that. Okay, a little bit more than that. 1,200. 1,200? Something like that. So, what is complexity going to do? They're moving up to the top lane. They want to go for this tier 2. It still is nighttime for a little bit of swap's going to get used by SVG, as they're going to swap Handskin back. Deathward going to get used. Thunder God's Wrath even going to get used, as Black steals the kill there. But it wasn't really meant to be a kill steal. It's just to see if anyone else is coming from complexity, although they did actually have good vision. Limp and Viz, he's going to scout out. He's going to find Black.
Radiant's top
As a Black nukes there, doesn't actually see Limp, but will be able to blink away. As Limp led with the Drunken Haze.
Radiant's
top tier 2 goes down. Now it's just the tier 3s, and now it's just the high ground pushes for complexity, but it's going to get more difficult. As this Bear, how close to Radiance is he? He's got it. So he just needs to deliver that recipe to his Bear, and all of a sudden Brax is going to have that Radiance. It's going to make it so much harder for complexity to not only prepare their lanes and get them in a position to push, but also their ability to actually push once they get there. Of course, you can always have Brax run in behind them and wipe out their next creep wave with the Radiance. So they'll have to back. And then on top of that, if we actually have a fight, the Bear's going to be in there. That does a lot of damage, that Radiant. But also, the miss chance associated with this, the 17% miss chance, is something that you really can't underestimate. It does a lot of damage in team fights early on. To your ability to... I mean... How do I say this? Yes, spells are typically the things that result to someone dying, because it's the thing that brings out the burst damage. But when you actually break down team fights, the majority of damage coming out is actually through right clicks. So if you're missing 17%, that is a huge amount of damage that you're not putting out in a team fight. And you can have some crucial misses at really bad times. On top of that, you've got the 50 damage from Radiance, which, yeah, there's magic resist to reduce that a little bit. But still, it's doing a pretty significant amount of damage to you. BKB is completed by Limp. Also got a mech completed by MSS. Lumden's just got his Ogre Club. Black just really keeping his distance here. He does have his Blink Dagger, so he can even get further and further away if need be. But now he'll just back away. He's just trying to get as much as he could up there in the top lane. Not sure if I noted the Manta pickup by Chessie. I saw it earlier, but not sure if I actually spoke of it. Swindlemelon's getting closer to finishing that Aghanim Scepter. About 500 gold from that. Limp gonna blink forward. As they're gonna go on Brax once again. As Handskin's here, and they've even got a Centaur Conqueror to stun him up as well. As Brax is dead. And the God's Wrath will get used again. As Black will just have to TP away from the top lane as Z-Freak was on top of him there. And with Void already used to allow him to close that gap, I meant the Zeus is free to TP away. But now we've got a battle in the mid lane as Chessie's going to get picked off. As Shazam have found a kill. And it's going to be on a very, very valuable target as they kill that Luna. But Limp, he's not done. He blinks forward. He's going to get a clap off on so many heroes on Shazam. Now he's going to use the split after killing MSS. He's going to be able to toss Lumden up in the air. As the Witch Doctor is now in trouble. In fact, he is dead.
Radiant's middle tower
As
is under
Handskin,
attack.
Limp, and Swindlemelons combine for a kill there. But really, that was kind of all Limp. As he was able to jump in there, get the solo kill on the Skywrath Mage, and then further that up by being able to catch the Witch Doctor. Well, we just had a fight that might have separated the teams a little bit. At least it separated the teams in terms of hero kills. 13 to 10 now in favor of complexity. Let's take a quick look at our net worth, and we can see it's just been... We've seen these graphs like this so many times from complexity. Just a constant ability to pull ahead, pull away from their opponents. As Black is going to get chased down here by Handskin, but he's not going to be able to finish off the kill because SVG is there with the swap, and then he gets the kill on Handskin instead. But we've seen this time and time again. Like I said, we haven't really seen a lot of aggression coming out from complexity in terms of just roaming around and killing people. But they haven't needed to. They've just made good rotations. They've played really strong positionally on the map, and they've taken towers. And they've taken towers without losing towers. And yeah, they've gotten a few kills here or there, and they haven't really fed. But it's just all because they're just playing positionally sound on the map. And by doing so, they're able to be more efficient and get more gold as the game goes on without really taking much risk. XP is also going to be about the same as well.
Sustains.
We've seen this so many times from complexity. Darkness is popped right now. Are they going to engage here? They're going to slow up the bear. They might be able to kill the bear off. Yeah, they're going to get the clap. As the bear is going to go down, it's going to be 300 gold that's going to go to Swindlemelons. There's now complexity. They'll charge right towards Roche. Let's look at this. Shazam just have to completely back away. They don't know what complexity is doing. And they're all just completely back. They're scared. And this is a perfect opportunity for complexity to take Roche. So I'm going to switch over to complexity's vision on the minimap right now. And you can just see they have complete control over Shazam's side of the map. Thunder God's Wrath going to reveal them now. But we switch on over to Shazam's vision, and they don't have a damn thing. They have got a little bit more from their heroes pushing out on the map. But prior to them pushing out now, when they were just sitting there in the mid, they had no vision of anything. Complexity. Complete control of the map. Complete control of the game right now. Chessie was the one who picked up that Aegis. Now he's going to have a BKB as well. We've got the Aegis, or Aghanim Scepter picked up by Swindlemelon. We had that Aghanim Scepter picked up by Z-Freak relatively recently, but he's also added on a gem as well. Handskin's got his 4 staff, nothing too big, but it's still something for the Leshrac. And we saw the Blink Dagger and the BKB already from Limp. As who's the Shadow Amulet going to be for? It's going to be for
Dire's
Handskin. That's
top
going to be his
tower
Glimmer
is
Cape.
under attack.
His complexity's looking pretty good right now. Shazam's going to go and take a top tier 2
Dire's
tower.
top tower has fallen.
But now they're going to have to come back because complexity, they're threatening a tier 3 here. As Chessie just walks up onto the high ground, and he can do so because he's got the Aegis.
Under attack.
They're going to use some abilities to get him low, but Limp's actually going to blink and get the clap off onto Luminine. He's going to split, and the Witch Doctor is dead. The tier 3's gone as well. Range Rack's about to
Radiant
fall, but
structures are
the
fortified.
glyph will come out, so it'll delay that.
Dire's
There's a
top
buyback
barracks has
available on the
fallen.
Witch Doctor, and it'll get used now.
Radiant's
As
middle
Brack's going to
barracks are
TP
under
back as
attack.
well, as he was doing some pushing in the top lane. Looks like the racks have gone down up there. As the range racks have gone down in the mid lane here. Melee rack's about to fall as well, as Chessie's going to get swapped back.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
As SVG is going to go down, so is Luminine. It's a die back for the Witch Doctor. As Limp, not going to die to that. It's still got a lot of HP actually. As Z-Freak's going to re-engage here. They're going to go for Black, and they're going to find the kill. As Complexity end up with a handful of kills. Brax, he was pushing in the top lane, doing some split pushing. He did get those racks, as I said, but we saw at one point he was trying to TP in somewhere around here, and I think maybe it was Handskin. I'm not exactly sure, but his TP got cancelled. Might have been Brax just cancelling it. I doubt it though. But either way, his TP didn't finish, so Brax didn't come back. So maybe that was either a cancel or by Complexity or cancel by Brax. But either way, I think Shazam really would have liked to have their Lone Druid back there to help defend. But I think they'll be alright with the fact that they were able to trade racks. It's not the worst thing in the world. It did cost them a couple heroes and even a buyback on the Witch Doctor, so that's not the best thing for them. But in the end, they still were able to get a set of racks and to trade that way. And for important structures like that, when you're really far ahead like you are, like Complexity is, you don't want to be trading racks at all. You want to be able to get a set of racks, and that allows you to be ahead, and that gives you something on the map. That's way more important than a couple of hero kills. So Shazam will gladly throw away, you know, they died 2 extra times, 3 times actually if you factor in the Witch Doctor's first death, and in a buyback. It's a little bit pricey, but I think it's okay for them. I'm gonna bring up the items here so we can get caught up on what everyone's got. We got a BKB up on the Vengeful Spirit, still sitting at 10 seconds though. Drums and Talisman of Evasion for the Vengeful Spirit. As for the Witch Doctor, point booster added on to the Ogre Club. He's sitting at 300 gold right now. That buyback really set him back in terms of that. MSS, he's at Mech and just has a cloak right now. Up to 1600 gold. Is that going to be a Glimmer? I'm not too sure. Black, we saw him get his Blink Dagger and his Aether Lens, but since then he really hasn't picked up much of anything. He's still hovering around 2100, 2200 gold. Really hasn't been able to make his mark on this game. We've seen this a few times. We've seen a few Zeuses getting picked up recently. We saw, was it Digital Chaos that ran it twice? Yeah, it was Digital Chaos that ran it twice against Complexity, and both times the Zeus wasn't really able to do much and have a big impact on the game. And AC almost completed by Brax. So that'll wrap it up for Shazam. As for Complexity, we've been kind of covering most of their items, but we've got the BKB on the Enchantress now with the Aghanims and the Dragonlance. We've got BKB on the Brewmaster as well as Blink and
Dire's
Vlad's.
middle tower is under attack.
Leshrac, we saw him pick up his Glimmer Cape. He's also picked up a Vitality Booster. Z-Freak, he's got his Aghanim Scepter and a Gem still, and Chessie's added on a Satanic. His BKB is now down to 9 seconds. This smoke from Complexity is not going to pan out because Shazam, they're all hiding in their base right now, playing it safe. So, I'm trying to think, when is the time that complexity need to end the game? Are we there yet? I think you do have to keep in mind that this lone druid is going to get really scary as the game goes on. The question is they also got a vengeful spirit carry, which doesn't really scale all that well. As well, we're not going to be able to talk about that. Limp's going to jump in and immediately get demolished as he just gets deleted from the game. Swindle's going to get swapped. He's forced to pop his BKB, but now Brax goes down. So two huge heroes are gone to start this fight off as the Witch Doctor, the Leshrac, and the Vengeful Spirit all drop quickly thereafter as the Skywrath Mage is going to go down as well. It's just the Zeus left alive for Shazam as Chessie all of a sudden gets a triple kill in that fight. Eclipse and right clicks pretty good. This Black's doing a little bit of harass damage there and then blinking away. Buyback will come out from MSS. There is a buyback available in SVG and he'll use it. But the Lone Druid and the Witch Doctor are dead for the duration. Complexity just get a little bit of damage in on that tier 3 and then they back. It's just a 3v3 push right now and they have to respect the fact that the Witch Doctor is respawning right now and that the Lone Druid is going to be up soon as well.
Come get here.
I think one of the big targets on the map is going to be Roche for complexity. That's the one that they're going to be focused on next. If they're able to get Roche, they're able to get the Aegis, then they should be able to push and knock down a set of racks. BKB just got purchased by Z-Freak, so that's flying in on the courier right now. Bloodstone completed by Black. Take a quick peek at our net worth, and it's still trending in favor of complexity XP, same story. Shazam? They're going to get a tier 2 tower here, and if they get a kill on Chessie, this will be absolutely huge, but he's going to pop his BKB. Limp's going to blink in, give everyone the clap, pop his BKB. SVG has to pop his BKB to run away. BKB's popped on everyone pretty much, as everyone's big and gold. As I'm not sure if Shazam's going to be able to get out of here. The first kill is actually Black finding a kill on the Handskin, but I think Complexity is going to find some more valuable kills here. Z-Freak gets very, very low, but able to run away. And now he's going to try to re-engage and go on to Brax here. Brax brings back the bear, but Z-Freak will be able to find the kill there as Brax just starts running on the spot. That was really weird. As Chessie throwing out a little bit of harass here on MSS as they're going to try to kill off the Skywrath Mage. MSS turns and he was about to cast on the Z-Freak, but he was there with the silence. As 3 heroes dead once again for Shazam. It's actually 4, but we had 1 go down on the side of complexity. But another fight very complexity favored, and this lines up perfectly with Roche respawning. So Chessie will go and get an Aegis, and that should be all pretty much complexity need to push and take another set of racks. That's Quarterstaff, in fact, a full butterfly getting picked up by Chessie. So he's going to deliver that to his hero, and he also frees up a space by dropping his teleport scroll so that he's able to get the Aegis. See freaking Limp going to come in and help him out. Doesn't look like Shazam is anywhere near being able to come and contest. It will be a free Aegis for complexity.
Has fallen to the dire.
Chessie picks up the Aegis, and they were leaving the cheese there, but Z-Free drops his Iron Talon and picks that up. Looks like they're going to wait around for bottom rune. The AC completed. No, not yet. Rack still needs the recipes. 250 away from completing it. Grotto Betos up on the Leshrac. Demon Edge picked up by the Enchantress. There's that AC picked up by Brax. That's going to help them a lot in the next fight. Got a Force Staff almost finished by MSS. Some of these heroes on Shazam need to start really worrying about buyback and making sure that they have buyback. Of course, the Skywrath Mage doesn't have his buyback. It's still on cooldown. Neither does the Vengeful Spirit. But everyone else, they've got it off cooldown, they just don't have the gold right now. And part of that's because I think they just need to buy some items. So buyback is nice, but if you're not able to even stand a chance, what's the point of buying back and coming back in the fight later when everyone on your team's already dead? You need to be able to do something in the initial fight for your buyback to even really mean much. compLexity are going to look to go for the top racks here. As Limp going to blink on in. Clap, split. It's going to toss the Witch Doctor up in the air as the tier 3 has gone down so fast. Jesse's just attacking that. Limp is just doing the distraction job right here. As the bear comes charging on in. They're going to pop the Eclipse and the bear is going to go down. As Brack's going to resummon. As the set of racks have gone down. SVG going to swap. He's actually going to swap Z-Freak. But he's not able to do much of anything. He just pops his BKB and has to run. As Handskin's going to get... Oh, he is going to die to that. As Limp also looks like he's going to go down as well. So compLexity lose a lot of heroes here. They will now just lose Chessie, but he does have that Aegis. But he's not really going to be able to do much with it. It's actually a triple kill for MSS on the Skywrath Mage. As compLexity get almost completely wiped there. They lose... Well, that's not going to show it, but they lose 4 heroes there. But they do get what they came for. They got the top racks. We can see, you know, Shazam's not exactly out of it. They're able to start fighting now. And this is what I was talking about of, you know, what is compLexity's timer? Is there a timer? With Lone Druid going later into the game, you definitely have to be scared of that. But the Vengeful Spirit doesn't really scale that well. We actually haven't really seen SVG do too much in the fights. He got a swap off there and then immediately had to pop his BKB and run. So he wasn't really able to do anything by way of right clicks and just not really providing much to the team fight in that situation. But I guess that's where Brax is meant to basically carry the whole load. Stun, almost coming out from Handskin. He cancels it and then he'll recast it. He's going to stun up Lumden. compLexity will get a kill as Shazam tries to retreat here. Chessie's going to beam Brax and then Chessie's going to get Force Staff forward as they're going to keep going on Brax here. As Black will TP away and Brax looks like he's dead. As he'll just attack the creeps. Going for a little bit of gold before he goes down there, but obviously he was going for the deny on the neutrals. But that's just wishful thinking there. As Limp's going to pop his BKB, then a split. As he's going to go on Shazam's XVG here. XSVG, I always say that one wrong. As he's going to swap Black and then blink.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now that's allowed them to catch up to MSS.
Radiant's top
So
barracks
compLexity
are
find
under attack.
2 kills, 1 on the very, very valuable Brax. No buyback available for 35 seconds. They're going to get the
Radiant's
top
top
range
barracks
racks.
has
Now they
fallen.
go down towards the bottom, where they'll get that set of racks, and it'll be mega creeps for Shazam. As they don't have
Radiant's
Glyph
bottom
available,
tower
this
is
tier
under
3 is already
attack.
taking quite a beating. They're going to get a
Radiant's
buyback from
bottom tower
MSS.
has fallen.
As Chessie's just going to keep attacking the racks. As
Radiant's bottom
Limp
barracks
plays
are under
the
attack.
distraction job once again, but they only get the range racks. They don't get the melee racks. And now they're going to try to run away. Or maybe they're not. They're going to try to re-engage, actually, as they're going to turn around and go on Black because the Zeus is dead. The Skywrath Mage is dead as well. Zeus does have buyback. He'll use it. But Brax has just respawned on the Lone Druid. So now compLexity wants to back away, but there's the swap coming up from the bench, bringing back the Luna.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Z-Freak is actually going to go down. He had to come back in to help Chessie. He was just the easier kill for them.
Dire's
Chessie will
middle
be able to
tower
blink
is
away,
under
or
attack.
TP away.
Gotcha.
So this game's starting to even up a little bit as compLexity
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't want to call it a throw, but their strategy is kind of slowing down here. It's losing a lot of its momentum. Their ability to fight 5v5 isn't anywhere near as strong as it was 15, 20 minutes ago. But they are in prime position to take this. They got the top racks down. They got the mid racks down. They got the bottom range
Dire's
racks down.
bottom
They're
tower
so
is
close to
under
getting
attack.
mega creeps. Of course, they have lost their top range racks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has
And now they've
fallen.
just lost their tier 2 in the bottom lane. Roche, we're still not sure when he's going to spawn. About another minute and a half before we'll find out. Gold graph still very heavily in favor of complexity. Almost 25,000 gold lead for them. XP's right around the 25k mark as well. It's like I said, complexity, it's just been constantly them just eking out, getting that extra little bit. And that's allowed them to stay ahead of Shazam and keep pulling further and further ahead of Shazam. And even though they've gotten in a situation where, you know, they could maybe potentially start losing fights, although we have seen a lot of buybacks from Shazam recently. Some of those are kind of be slowing down, but the Lone Druid's the big one. If Lone Druid's able to have a buyback but also have a bear when he does buy back, if he doesn't have a second bear when he buys back, it's going to be kind of useless. But if he's able to come back with that bear, that's going to be very, very scary for complexity. Brax is pretty much the whole Shazam team right now. He's the one doing the majority of the damage. And I realize as I'm saying that you know, the Zeus is probably doing a lot of damage in the fights, but complexity. Looks like they're not going to wait for Roche. They're just going to go for a push here. Buyback only available on the Venge and the Witch Doctor. Here comes the next complexity creep wave. As this will line up with mid pushing in, so someone from Shazam or maybe a couple heroes are going to have to come up and defend it. So just send the Luna illusions up and they really just tickle the melee racks. It's actually going to regen back fully as complexity says, well, that's not going to work. We'll back, we'll look, check Roche. Nope, another minute and 15 seconds. The question is, if you're Shazam, what do you do? You've got a Lone Druid who's starting to get big, and it's starting to become an issue for the opposing team. Certainly when he picks up double damage. That's going to be pretty scary. But you've got a Lone Druid who's starting to become an issue for the enemy team, but beyond that, you've got a bunch of other heroes that aren't really doing much. And I realize that's kind of insulting to say it that way, but it's true. The Vengeful Spirit has pretty damn close to the same net worth that the Lone Druid has, but Venge... I mean, we've seen this so many times, I'm still not convinced that this core Venge is even a good idea. We've seen it work several times. We've also seen it not work a lot. But I don't know. When you get in a situation like this, the Venge isn't really providing much to the team fight. On top of that, the Witch Doctor, which you'd like to see do a lot in a team fight, isn't really able to either because you're just getting completely run over by the heroes that complexity have. And you're not really going to get a solid death ward. I'm seeing Shazam actually going for a smoke play here. Is this going to be a base race or are they just going to go for a pick off here in the top lane? Well, complexity, they may be onto it. They're going to start running up to the top lane. As now MSS is going to TP away. And so is Lumden. As Shazam, it didn't really pan out for them. It was a good attempt. But unfortunately, they weren't able to find a kill and or kind of go for a race if compLexity were to push. If they were in position, like, if they went in position up in the top lane and compLexity went for a push, they could have easily gone for a base race and they might have won. Might have won. The Lone Druid Bear does so much damage to towers. And that, I mean, that kind of speaks to Shazam's position in the game right now. They know that they're way behind. They know that they're in a very bad situation. They've got to go for some risky play to try and win this. Something has to change. If it just kind of keeps going in the same kind of pace that it is, and the same standard way that you would expect this DotA game to go, compLexity is just gonna take it. So Shazam needs to go for some risky play, and that might be a base race.
Roshan has fallen.
Now there's an Aegis up on compLexity as Chessie's gonna get that. He picked up the cheese. It's gonna be Handskin. But now you certainly can't fight against compLexity, not with an Aegis up on the Luna. But you may have to. Because it's going to be very hard to go for a base race now. As Black, he's going to get caught out here. What is he doing out there farming? He's just going to go down. Unthinkable, says the Zeus, and maybe that death was unthinkable. That just looks like it. Lumen's going to buy back, but Black does not have buyback. And compLexity is going to start right-clicking down towers.
Radiant structures.
Knocking down tier force. And they actually are going to get enough buyback gold from Black, so he will be able to buy back.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But compLexity, they're forcing them right back into their fountain. We are going to lose Limp, because maybe compLexity, maybe they should have just kept attacking structures. Now they're going to start attacking racks on the way out, as Handskin looks like he's going to go down. As compLexity actually lose 2 heroes. They did keep the Aegis up on their Luna, so they didn't lose that. But that was a little bit of a disaster from compLexity. They definitely had an opportunity to end the game or just go for the melee racks and get mega creeps, but they jumped past the racks and forced them to fight in their fountain, and then they just kind of got overrun and just weren't able to win that fight. So a little bit of 3-2-2 going each way. Those heroes from compLexity are only dead for 20 seconds, so I don't think there's really an opportunity for Shazam to get much here. Might be able to get to tier 3, maybe. And they're going to have to go for it. They have to go for something risky. If they can catch a hero here before the others respawn, and it doesn't look like they're... Oh, they're almost get the stun off onto Chessie there, but he was ready with the BKB. He's going to pop it, and this is probably going to be our final fight of the game. Is compLexity bring down the Witch Doctor. They're going to bring down the Vengeful Spirit. Oh, Chessie's getting very low. He's going to go down, but he does have that Aegis. Brax is going to go down. Last Impetus flies out, as it's going to be a triple kill for Swindle Melons. They're going to try and find MSS here, and they will catch him with the Tornado. There's MSS. Z-Freak going to go down there. MSS going to force staff himself up onto the high ground. Black actually getting the kill onto Swindle Melons there. As I think maybe
I'm back.
compLexity and myself are just maybe thinking this game's so over when some of these fights start happening. That they somehow just start losing some heroes. But we have buybacks coming out. And finally Brax is going to buy back. So he had enough this time. But compLexity is just going to start marching down mid. They bought back on 2 heroes to do so. It was the Night Stalker and the Enchantress. They still have buyback available on the Panda and the Luna, and compLexity maybe thinking better of just going for the win there. They're just going to go for the melee racks and get mega creeps on their side, but now they're going to go for the bear from Brax, and he's on cooldown. He does not have a second bear.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
And
the Dire now have mega creeps.
compLexity might be able to stick around and fight that, given that there's no bear up on Brax, and exploit that weakness for the next 80 seconds. Looks like they're now considering about playing it maybe just a little bit safer. And they'll go back to just to regroup here, and they might even find an opening here as they're going to try to lead onto Black there, but they're going to have to switch to SVG because Black is able to blink away, but SVG goes down. No buyback available on him. Is Limp going to jump in, give the clap to 3 players on the side of Shazam as they will tap out. Brax calls GG as game 1 goes to compLexity.
Radiant's Ancient is under
It's well
attack.
played, says Black.
compLexity.
That was just game 1 of a 3-game series. So compLexity's up 1 game so far. So we saw an interesting game to say the least. Early on it was okay, and then it just kind of kept that normal kind of slow compLexity style where we don't see a lot of kills, but we see them making progress on the map and just pulling ahead. And then as we got later on, you know, compLexity definitely got a huge lead in terms of structures. They were able to knock down a lot of racks, and Shazam actually lucked out on the one time, able to trade their mid-melee racks, or mid-racks for compLexity's top racks. But then compLexity got that second set of racks, and it was very difficult for Shazam to really come back in that game. They showed some moments of potentially the ability to come back. They wiped compLexity at some, not wiped them, but they got a couple kills on compLexity at some key moments and crucial moments, but they were never really able to keep going with it after getting those kills and really punish compLexity by way of structures. And then just compLexity eventually found ways to win those fights just slightly and get the melee racks and in the bottom lane and eventually megas, but also find pickoffs here or there, and it really stressed Shazam in terms of their gold by forcing out some of the buybacks. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. As I'm Niz, and it's a 3-game series, so we do have another 1 game, maybe 2 games, depending on whether compLexity take the next one. But we're going to throw it to a quick break. I'm going to rest my voice, and hopefully we'll be ready for game 2 shortly between Shazam and compLexity.